Welcome to another coffee corner. Welcome to my post dental update. So, I went in and I had a really nice nurse. You guys know that I have really bad anxiety, and so I had a fantastic nurse who kind of helped me through all of that. They took several X-rays, took all kinds of stuff. And so the end result today was that they, because I was like, it's not bothering me. Hello, cool gamer. It doesn't hurt. It's not changing my daily life. It's just rubbing into my jaw. And I will tell you, I can already feel a difference in talking. Like this morning, it hurt. Like it kept, like when your socks aren't fitting correctly and they keep rubbing against your heel, and it doesn't matter what you do, you can change positioning like in your shoe or anything, it just doesn't change. That is how it felt. It felt horrible. And I'm like, if you can just smooth it off, we'll be good to go. And the dentist is like, slow your roll. So I was in the dentist for roughly an hour, which wasn't horrible. My anxiety was pretty high, but the end result is that they did smooth out that tooth so that it wasn't rubbing and causing pain. They're like, did you know that you have a couple teeth on the other side that kind of need looked at? And I'm like, yeah, I know. They're not bothering me. I eat raw carrots on them. And they're like, what? They're like, okay, whatever. But like, we probably need to get them looked at. Okay, fine. So the end result today is that they did a partial exam. They kind of smoothed out this tooth and the filling spot, and did some X-rays. I have another appointment on June 1st for a comprehensive dental exam. They will be doing a full teeth cleaning and a full teeth evaluation, X-rays, all that kind of stuff to see what needs to be done to fix a couple of my teeth. Then, after we get back from our vacation in July, hopefully that week after, because it takes me a little bit to recover. And I know if I do it before vacation, I may just not feel great on vacation. And I'd rather have vacation behind me when we, before we do this extraction. I will be doing a partially sedated extraction. What they're going to do is they're going to give me a sedation pill, and they will, I will pretty much be like loopy, kind of drunk. It's pretty much what they described. Like, you'll pretty much be drunk. And I'm like, well, I can just start doing tequila shots, and be fine. And they thought that was funny. But I will have a sedation pill that I will take beforehand, and then I will go in and they will do the extraction over here for this partial tooth that they just kind of leveled off for me. And then on this side, they're going to fill in a couple areas that need fixed, so that these don't become a problem in the future. So no root canals or anything like that, which I'm really happy about. So with the extraction, I will have to be supervised for 24 hours post extraction. So what'll happen is Dad will pick me up and take me to the dentist, and then he will be with me during the exams, and then will take me home back to Mom and Dad's house, where I will be until Sam gets off work, and either Dad will bring me back to the house here, or Sam will come and get me, and I'll come back and I will be supervised for the remaining 24 hours. Now, I know what you're wanting to know. Will I be vlogging this? And I haven't quite decided yet. I want to say No, because the anxiety portion of it is very personal. But on the flip side of that, I try to be as openly transparent with you guys as at all times. I don't hide anything from you guys. And so I'm like, well, do I show the anxiety and the stress? But I don't want the last thing I want to do is for some younger person, like somebody younger, to come across my trip to the dentist video, or a parent to come across my trip to the dentist video and and show it to their kids and freak them out. So I may talk about it afterwards in a video, but I don't know if I'm going to vlog the whole process. I finally ate something about a half an hour ago. I had 5 Wendy's chicken nuggets. I hadn't eaten anything since breakfast. But Sam and I are planning to go to the gym. So I had 5 Wendy's chicken nuggets, and I am having a peanut butter chocolate peanut butter premier protein shake, and I am having water. And the dentist was like, well, ice has been hurting, right? I'm like, no. He's like, hot things have been hurting. No. I've very much confused the dentist and the dental hygienist today. So they said I can start to eat normally again, because like I couldn't eat like fruit and vegetables and stuff like that. But I'm like, I need to be able to eat these things, and they're like, well, just be careful, try to limit, a lot of chewing on that other side. And I'm like, okay, I can do that. So I am starting tomorrow. I can go back to my normal routine of eating. So on that note, originally we had went, okay, well, this is going to be pretty pricey because we don't have dental insurance. The dental insurance through where Sam works isn't good at all. So we've had it in the past and it just didn't do anything for us. So we don't have it. And so we're like, oh, this is really expensive. This is going to be really, really pricey. For my partial dental checkup, and for what they did dental checkup wise, and they did a lot of x-rays. The limited oral evaluation was $45, and the intraoral percipical images, so pretty much my x-rays, was $30. So we paid $75 today. So I am really excited that we are still going to be attempting to get registration for the marathon weekend tomorrow. My plan is to get have a couple windows open and have the 5K, get the 5K registration first, and then get the 10K for Sam in a separate window. So fingers crossed. I do have a live stream started for 8:45 tomorrow. I'm not sure. That's AM. I don't know if I'm going to be like moving that to like 9:15. That way I can get logged in and everything to Run Disney and be ready to go when the registration opens. So if I leave it at 8:45 and I'm not on right away, I will be there. I just am in the midst of trying to get logged in and get a spot in line to register for the 5K. One of the things that, and Sam, when he was home at lunch, he said he would take care of getting my blocks sanded for me tonight. So, like I said, I'm feeling really good. Like the anxiety was horrendous when I was at the dentist, but I'll tell you what, I was laying there in the dental chair that I fit on. I wasn't hanging off either side of the dental chair like I have in the past. And when I laid down, like, my arms weren't up here. They were down here. I was like, huh, okay. And I think, and I know they say it takes longer. All these different, like, inspirational things about, it takes 8 weeks for you to notice it and 12 weeks for people to notice it. I think that's backwards. I think that it takes longer for you to notice changes in yourself than it takes for other people to notice changes in you, because you have an idea in your head of what you look like. Like, you and at least this is me personally. In my head, I am still that 300 plus pound girl trying to do videos on YouTube. And I'm not. I'm 35 pounds lighter. And my goal for July is to be down 50 pounds. And who knows what I'll be at by the time marathon weekend comes around. Because for those of you who didn't know or don't know, who haven't been following my journey, the 5K at Walt Disney World in January kicked off my year of wellness. The 5K is something that I've wanted to do for ages. I've wanted to do it for so long. And it finally correlated to be able to do it last year. And we're going to do it again. Fingers crossed that I can get in tomorrow. I'm feeling so much better than I did. And I know, like, and I talked about it earlier. I know that the last 2 days of eating were not on points for Weight Watchers. But I was limited to what I was allowed to eat. And that's the thing. It wasn't me going, oh, I'm not going to eat this, I'm not going to eat that. It was, the doctor has said, I can only eat this type of food. I can't eat, this and that and whatnot. And things were making me sick to my stomach. And I think part of it was how, like, I've got a spot in my cheek, like, that's been rubbed raw by that rough edge of that tooth. And I know that I need to continue to brush my teeth, which I do, continue to brush and make sure to swish with mouthwash and with salt water and, do all the things that I'm supposed to be doing, take my antibiotics. And if I have a gain on Friday, it is not because I threw caution to the wind and just decided I didn't care. I was limited on what I could eat. I could only eat certain things because other things were making me physically ill. And next week is another week. And I have to remind myself of that. I have never had so much success on any program before. I think I have gotten to 10 pounds before and then gave up. 35! Guys, I've made it to 35 pounds. It's insanity to me. And I've done it on my own. And I mean, I say I've done it on my own. And I use that loosely because Sam has been there supporting me. But in the past, I've almost pushed it onto Sam to go, well, it's your responsibility to make sure that I'm eating what I'm supposed to. It's your responsibility I go to the gym. It's your responsibility I do this. And it's not. It's mine. And last year, if I was stressed out, I wouldn't go to the gym. Last year, if I had a day off of school, I wouldn't go to the gym. And I'm planning 2 hours tomorrow at the gym. Tonight, I do want to do a little bit on the treadmill. And I want to do some of the machines that I didn't term safe weights earlier. I kind of talked about it, like that standing squat machine, the pushing squat machine, I guess you could, the two types of leg machines that I just don't feel comfortable with without Sam being there to spot me. I'm excited. I'm excited to go to the gym. This new person that I'm becoming, I love her. I love who she is and who she's focused on. She's not focused on the end result. And so many times I've looked at the number, because with Weight Watchers, you have to have a goal. You have to have an end goal to put into the app. And my end goal is 150. And if I just concentrated on the fact that I'm over 100 pounds from there and I've got so far to go, yeah, I'd give up. I mean, who wouldn't? But I look at if I do a midweek weigh-in, I track it in my Fitbit app. I don't track it in the Weight Watchers app. And so according to Fitbit, when I logged last on Friday, and I was at 277.2. That's not right. Hold on. Okay, it's 276.4. Sorry. I didn't put it in right. Okay. I am down 35 pounds even. And I knew that. That's why I was like, this isn't right. When I put it into my Fitbit app correctly, this is what popped up. It said 35-pound loss. Congratulations. That's a major milestone and proof that you can do anything you set your mind to. So my next goal is 50 pounds. And like I said, I'd like to earn that before we go on vacation. And according to Fitbit, because I put in a 50-pound goal on Fitbit, I have 15 pounds to go. 15 pounds. Let's see. I have 1, 2. Okay, let's do this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 for May. 5, 6, 7, 8 for June. Plus 2 is 10. So 15 divided by 10 is 1.5 pounds a week. Now, right now, I'm averaging 2.5 pounds per week. Now, I know that that's not going to last forever. So, even a 1 pound a week, if I've had 1 pound a week, even if I'm like right below it, I've at least attempted to make my goal. So, my goal is 50 by the time we go on vacation. I will say it's so nice to be able to take a drink of something and not have this like raw piece of something like jabbing at my tongue. So I'm so thankful. I don't know if I mentioned this or not. They were doing some updates on my medical history and stuff, and the nurse comes over and goes, like, puts her hand on my shoulder and goes, so it's noted that you have some dental office anxiety. And one of the girl who I'm like, we're good friends, and we run into each other all the time. She is the nurse that helped with my extraction in 2014, and all she did was start to laugh. And I go, shut up. She just laughed. I'm like, yeah, a lot. I was very upfront about it. I'm like, I was sitting there almost in tears. But what I did was I took my headphones with me and was playing music on YouTube from YouTube. And the dentist was like, I think that's a great idea. Make sure every time you come in, you do that. So, don't put off going to the dentist. because, you know, if I had went before, maybe it wouldn't have been a big problem. But it's a less of a problem than I thought it was. So that's always a good thing. And I'm wearing my necklace. One of the nurses asked where I got it, and I told her, I go, it's from Charmed Aroma Candles. It's a magic candle, and it was a golden egg, and it's a golden egg pendant. And they're like, oh my gosh, that's so pretty. And they're like, my nieces and granddaughters love Harry Potter. And I'm like, well, the candles are about $60. They're like, and I said, but you get jewelry in it, and once the candle's melted down, you can freeze it, and you can pop the old wax out and use they can put the container on their dresser. And they're like, oh, well, so it's a multi-use item. I'm like, exactly. So I have my pendant, I have my candle, which I have burning here. I'll kind of show you what it looks like. You can see that it's kind of half melting on one side. I've got it in this wooden bowl. And then Sam was looking at the container when he was home at lunch, and he thinks that with time and patience that he might be able to put it together. So when he starts working on it, we will vlog the process of putting this egg back to Humpty Dumpty, make it put back together again. So if you're wondering, Sam will be home in like 20 minutes. So I'm trying to get some more protein in my system. Number one, because I only ate 5 chicken nuggets for lunch. Like, I ate breakfast at probably 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 11 to 12, 12 to 1, 6 hours before I ate 5 chicken nuggets for lunch. And for breakfast, I had a slice of cheese over some scrambled eggs and 2 slices of bacon. So I didn't eat a lot today. Not because I'm trying to not eat anything, and I want to make that really clear. My nerves, I was really nervous ahead of my dental appointment, and when I get nervous, I feel like I'm going to vomit. And the last thing I wanted to do was like go to the dentist with breath smelling like vomit, because I don't care how many times you brush your teeth and how many times you rinse your mouth out after you vomit, your breath smells like vomit for like a month. I have to eat with my antibiotic, and I couldn't take my second round of antibiotic until I ate something, and I couldn't eat something because I was too nervous about going to the dentist. So, I'm trying to help make up some protein with my Premier Protein shake. If you are wondering, it's got 30 grams of protein, only 160 calories, 1 gram of sugar, and 24 vitamins. So, on my Weight Watchers program, these are 2 points for a container. I sometimes drink Slim Fast as well, but Slim Fasts are 5 points on Weight Watchers for me. I have some Slim Fasts and I keep them in my locker. Sometimes, if my mom is subbing at the school, she'll forget to bring something for lunch, or they'll call her last minute and she won't have time to put something together for lunch. So I tend to keep a few Slim Fast shakes in my locker for my mom. Sometimes some of the high school girls that are there will forget to eat lunch, and I just direct them to my locker. I'm very sorry. I direct them to my locker and say, I've got some Slim Fast shakes in there. That's at least some protein for you. And so they'll down a Slim Fast. So I provide everyone else with the Slim Fast shakes that I can't drink, or that I think are high in points. These remind me of those like Horizon milks that you can get that look really similar to this, that don't have to be refrigerated. It says serve cold and shake before using. I'll shake it, but I don't necessarily have to drink it cold. Some days, it's not even a texture thing, it's a mental thing. Like Friday, I still have like half of mine from Friday in the fridge, or maybe like a quarter of it. I will use it as coffee creamer. So that one I'll probably finish up tomorrow. I'll make a coffee in the morning and I have the Neapolitan coffee from Target, and I'm probably going to make it tomorrow in the morning and have coffee and breakfast, chat with while I am waiting for the race registration to go live, and then once I am either in or out of the race, I will go to the gym and burn off anxiety there. Huge thank you to school for letting me out for this. I'm very excited. Sam and I were laughing about, we have had a joint account. Well, we've been married 15 years. We've had a joint account for 15 years. And I know a lot of people are like, you have a joint account? And like, the funnier thing is that in today's society, that's weird. Because I said something about it. I'm like, oh, I was at school. And I said something like, oh, Sam went to the vending machine. And one of the other pairs goes, well, how do you know? And I go, well, it showed up on the bank account. And they were like, you don't have separate bank accounts? And I'm like, no. And they just thought it was weird. Well, Sam and I were talking today, and he's like, I can never do a surprise for you because we have a joint account. So we decided to leave our main account and each have separate accounts going forward so that he can plan a surprise. And what kind of came from that was we were talking about next year's trip. And I said, knowing you could tell me, oh yeah, I work on Thursday, get up, get dressed like you're going to work, go drop off another guy who he picks up in the mornings, and come home and go, okay, it's time to get up and get dressed, it's time to go on vacation. And I'm like, oh yeah, you could totally surprise me with that. And he's like, well, how am I going to surprise you? Because you know everything that's going on. So that's how that came up. And he's like, yep, that'll work because then I can surprise you. So who knows what's going to happen going forward. But my mouth feels weird. I will say it doesn't look as swollen as it did earlier. It doesn't feel as swollen as it did earlier. I don't like dentists. Sorry if you're a dental student. I don't like dentists. They were getting ready to do the procedure where they were gonna kind of level it all off, and I'm like, Gail, would you go get my dad? Because my dad was in the waiting room waiting on me. And he goes, why do you need me? I go, just Sammy, like, and I was starting to like wig out. And he's like, okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Just take a breath. You're okay. And the dentist is looking at me like, oh boy. And I'm like, it's noted. It was noted in my file. And Dad goes, dentists are probably the least liked, but the most needed. And the funnier part is that my dentist is also my dad's dentist. So that's, he's like, I recognize you. And I'm like, oh, great. Family reunion. Family reunion in the dental office. Guys, I know, switch of topic, but I cannot say this enough. If you are looking for a gift for someone, they love Disney, they love Universal, they love candles, you need to go to Charmed Aroma. Because this smells amazing. And I don't know how to explain it. Everyone has it. They have that one thing that's calming to them. It soothes their soul. And sitting here, I have the candle sitting you can kind of see the glow, I think, a little bit. Just sitting here, looking over at my candle, smelling the candle. It's a it's kind of helping me to de-stress a little bit. My favorite candles are woodwick candles because they crackle, and it's like having a little mini fireplace on my desk. And I haven't had a woodwick candle in a while, and I need to get another one. It's on several of my swap lists, I think. If it's not, I need to go add it in there. But just sitting here, it's like having a little mini fireplace, and it's very relaxing to me. And I know that may sound weird, but it does. So if you're wondering, they kept the little piece of my tooth and disposed of it. My friend's son cannot claim it and put it under his pillow for the tooth fairy. I don't know if I told anyone this story or not. It was funny. So when I was at the ER on Saturday, I was messaging back and forth with one of my friends who's been out with, she slipped and fell in the mud and fractured her foot and had to have surgery and is out until the end of the school year. And her son is in first grade and is like, can I have the other part of Miss Lena's tooth? Why? So that I can put it under my tooth fairy and get money for it. And I started to laugh. And I messaged her. I said, be careful of him and kids with loose teeth on the playground. He may start beating them up for their teeth for the tooth fairy. Whew. And she just laughed. She's like, oh, please no. Please no. Sam laughs at me. I am a cup person. When we were at the expo in January for the marathon, I bought every cup that they had. I went back for more cups and water bottles. And Sam's just like, am I going to start calling you the crazy cup lady? Maybe. Because I bought more cups since then. I bought this 4-pack of color changing cups. They make me happy because they change colors. I have the same brand. I have this same brand, this towel brand, in a screw top cup that changes colors. I have Starbucks cups. I've got those Starbucks cups. And Sam says the teeth are for the Molinator. Now, if you know who the Molinator is, you're our age. Or you like Santa Claus. So, I'm going to buy all the cups when it comes to marathon weekend again. I need, and this is probably going to be something that I think I'm going to be thinking. I need to think about it. I need a costume idea for the run. Like last year, I was fat. I'm still fat, but I'm working on it. And I've learned something. I made a comment about myself. I said, and it wasn't even it was to another para. And I didn't even know some of the 5th graders overheard me. I said, yeah, some of these 5th graders or girls are saying they're fat. They don't know fat. I'm fat. And I didn't even think anything of it. So at lunch that day, 3 of the girls came up to me and goes, Mrs. Hall, we're mad at you. Okay. What's going on? I was thinking, I haven't talked to you today. How can you, is that why you're mad at, like, what's going on? And one of the girls goes, Mrs. Hall, you called yourself fat. And I went, what? She's like, you were talking with the para and you said that you were fat. And I'm like, okay. But like, we don't find that acceptable at all. We think you're beautiful. And I'm like, okay. They're like, you owe us. And I'm like, okay. They're like, you have to say something nice about yourself every day. So every day before school starts, I have to find these 3 girls and say something nice about myself. I really made these 3 fifth grade girls mad. And one of them is all of them are amazing. One of them is the sweetest girl. She is convinced, like apparently her class, because I'm in one of the other classrooms, has taken a vote that I'm moving to middle school with them. And her mom subs in the school and was telling me about the vote. And I'm like, they what? She's like, yeah, they are convinced that you're going to go with them. And I'm like, how many times do I have to tell them I'm not? That like I'm staying here. And so I went in there. It was during study hall. And I'm like, all right. I said, Mrs. Fahey, can I talk to your class for a second? And she went, and I said, guys, I'm not going to middle school with you. And they're like, yeah, you are. You don't get a choice in it. I'm like, guys, I have to stay here with Mrs. Fahey and the other teacher because they need me next year. They need me for the next group of fifth graders need me. And they're like, no, Mrs. Hall, you don't understand. We need you. We need you with us. And I'm like, I just kind of went, okay, guys, whatever. And I walked out and I'm like, how do I, like, you stand there and go, some days it is just so hard. Like, I've gotten off the bus and he's like, how was your day? I'm like, don't even ask. Don't even ask. Because it was just horrible. And I tell him everything that went wrong that day. And I think I forget to tell Sam all the good things that happen. And so it must sound like I hate my job some days. But there's some days where I'm like, could anything else possibly go wrong? Wait, maybe I shouldn't ask that. Knock on wood. But then those moments happen where I've got a whole grade of kids who want me to go with them so badly to the next level. And I'm like, guys, I have to stay here. I have to be with next year's fifth graders. They need me too. They need me just as much as you guys do. I said, but you guys have paras in the middle school. You guys will be okay. And I'm not any of their paras. I'm kind of on my break, I'll float in and see if the teachers need something, or I'll put mail away that needs to be done, or maybe run and make a copy or something on my time, when it's on my time, not on paid time. And the few moments of interaction have apparently made a real difference. Makes you feel good. But I have to remember every morning, I have to go and say one nice thing about myself. Otherwise I get in trouble. So trying to think of nice things about yourself and not on a repeat sometimes is hard. But I have one. I can wear a one-size-fits-all necklace. So there's mine for on Wednesday, since I won't be in school tomorrow. Tomorrow's a sub. But so that is the post-dental update. That is update for marathon registration tomorrow. There is a live stream for that already. So make sure, like I said, it's set for 8:45. I may not be live until I get situated in a back area, in a holding space. So even if I'm not live right when it says I will be, excuse me, I drank that Premier Protein too fast. I totally lost what I was saying. even if I'm not right there when it starts, I will be. Thank you everyone for hanging out with me 3 times today. Thank you so much for watching.